microphone. Ooh, we're back. I do not have to rage at the snow when it blocks the pathway. Not as bad, I think, here. Anyway, yes. Greetings from the library cave, or cavern. Cavern, it's the cavern now. I am here with my lovely, lovely fiancé, Mr. Panda Hero Roo.
Hello.
And we are continuing Silent Hill 2. So, it's funny because I react to horror games when I'm playing them like I'm scared, but I'm not really that scared. It's just fun to react like I'm scared. So I've had to talk with Panda a little bit because I think sometimes when I play certain games, that especially ones that he wants me to play, if I react like I'm having a hard time, it's not that I'm having a hard time and I'm not enjoying it. If I wasn't enjoying it, I'd just be like really quiet. So part of it for me, part of the fun is reacting, I think.
I think I see now.
Yeah. So I'm actually enjoying this game a lot. I think it's really good. So yeah, if I just get kind of like, ee! Or like, no, it's yucky. I mean, that's just me being silly. So
Okay.
yeah, this is I really am enjoying this game.
Well, good. I'm very glad to hear that. It just goes back to when we were playing Frostpunk the first time, and you sounded like you were just not having a good time at all, and it's like, oh no, what did I do?
Yeah, no, I've been having fun. So my avatar is, so it's set on a PNG tuber rather than my usual VTube Studio VTuber model.
This was at my recommendation.
Yeah. Panda recommended it because this game uses a lot of, I guess, a lot of memory or something.
Uses a lot of memory. It's very resource intensive, and whenever I tried to stream with my full VTuber model, the whole thing would lag. My model, I don't think my model would lag, but the game would lag. It would be like full blown slideshow.
Yeah, and knowing this and thinking about when I first started streaming and I was playing I'm possessed when I was playing what do you call it, Layers of Fear, the updated Layers of Fear. I know I was having a lot of problems with the game glitching out on me, so I'm wondering if maybe I can go back and try finishing that some other time while using the PNG tuber instead. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Anyway, a little housekeeping. I have my full work schedule. It's kind of iffy, but I made sure that I am guaranteed to have Tuesday and Thursday off from work. And they have not scheduled, at least in the evenings, they have not scheduled me on Tuesday or Thursday evenings. Thank goodness for that. They've been really, really good about that. And they scheduled me out for a month, which is nice because a lot of retail jobs, they only schedule you for the next week, and you have to kind of figure it out.
Play it by ear, as
yeah,
it were. Yeah,
but they scheduled me out for the entire month, which is awesome. Things are going really well. They like me there, so yay. But anyway, so I did post my schedule. I did mention a few things. I am probably, what I'm going to be doing is I am going to be doing co-working streams during the day. Partially because it helps me to get stuff done, and because I'm not working during the day as much as I was in my old job at the Dragon Doctor's office, I need to use that time to get tasks done. So, and I figure it's a little bit easier for somebody if they're at work and they can have a stream on having a stream that they can work with rather than having a stream that they have to pay more attention to is a little easier on people. I don't know. It might work, it might not. We'll see what happens. But Tuesday and Thursday are guaranteed I will be streaming. And then I'll probably be doing streams on the weekends at like around noon on Saturdays. That seems to be something that will work fairly well with the schedule I have so far. So I'm still going to be able to stream like 4 days a week minimum. It's just going to be a little different because I'll be doing some daytime streams when I used to do mostly evening, and then just doing a daytime stream on the weekend. So we'll see how this goes. It may work, it may not. I think it's easier just to do co-working during times when most people are working anyway. So that's what things are gonna be for now, and we'll see how it goes. I still, that my job's temporary, so I still have to do some job hunting, which will also help me doing co-working streams during the day. So yeah, I'm gonna do my best to make sure things stay fairly consistent. But other than that, yeah. I have to work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday this weekend, so I'm kind of like, but I'm sure it'll be okay. All right, so let's get started. So last time, oh my gosh, look at all these saves I made.
I was going to say, take the most recent one.
Yes, the Neely's Bar save.
And you've been playing the game for almost 2 hours now.
Yeah, and I'm probably way behind other people who would play it for 2 hours, but
you're experiencing the game far differently than I did.
Right. And part of that is just I like to take my time, and I like to appreciate the work that people put into the game.
Yeah. See, in my case, I want to beat the game before I get sick of it,
Yeah. So, I don't remember what we were doing last time. I think we have the key to the door.
Yes, you do.
Yes. All right. That's not what I'm supposed to do.
Try E.
E.
Yep, there you go.
E.
Because we were playing with the controller last time.
Yeah. Oh, look. It's scuffy there because I hit it. Okay. Oh, okay. I feel like the thing that here's the thing that throws me off about him is that he looks like Ethan from Resident Evil, but with blonde hair instead of brown. Mm-hmm. So it looks like they just took Ethan and bleached his hair. And it kind of weirds me out. Anything over here? Oh, there's a thing. Should I be scared of this?
No.
No.
Because remember how you're looking for, tattered white stuff?
Tattered white stuff. Press E to climb.
Yep, and that's where you want to see the tattered white cloth there on the window? Yeah, that's if you ever get lost, that's where you need to go next. That's what you should be looking for.
I want to look at other stuff, too. Because I do that. Okay, can I go up there? No.
Yes, no, you can't go in there.
Or at least, if I can, it's not yet.
No. You can just get on there and then go through the window.
E. Oh, what's in there? You made noise. Don't make noise, Ethan clone. Wait, what's his name again?
James.
James. I should remember that.
James Sunderland.
E. E. I got a health drink, yay. Anything else to find? It is a bathroom. I find it weird that there's a health... Is that something? No, it's just a table. Okay, somebody smashed that mirror. Something good. Okay. I was watching some of the Last of Us TV series today. And it's kind of funny to think about how a lot of video games share some themes. Okay. Let's read this. He came back after you left. It's fine. He didn't try anything. He just seemed sad. Mumbled something about getting out of town with someone. I wasn't going to let him drive in his condition, so I locked him out. His car should be out back. Maybe check if it's still there by morning. It's the greenish blue one, plate number ending with 06, I think. Okay. A greenish blue car with a plate ending in 06.
So there's your hint.
Yep. Back. Anything else? Oh, wait. How do I look at the map again? Is that Q?
I think so. Or is it tab?
Tab.
Nope.
Yes.
Because we were using a...
Maps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Space to investigate.
Oh,
There is
right.
a better... There's a shortcut for the thing. The thing is, I played on a controller.
Right. Right. So there's a question mark where the greenish blue car is. All right. Have some check marks off on the text place, the groovy music place, and the apartment place. So those are all check marked. Okay. We know where everything's cut off. I wonder if I can just go back down Whitsey Road and go on my merry way to get back to reality and not be around spoopy stuff. That would be really nice. But I guess it's not gonna happen. Alright, anything else to see?
So it's the M key on PC to open the map.
M. Okay.
Makes sense.
Yeah, there's some logic. Can I find more things that are healy and helpful? No. Is there a syringe? Can I open that door? Door open. E. No. Can I open that door? I feel like maybe yes. Okay. All right. We're going outside, everybody. Oh. Okay, there's already sounds. I heard a squishy. Wait, let me look at my map again. Okay. Okay, so we're heading that way, and then we're gonna hook a right. Okay. There's some... I hear the squishy sounds. No. Oh my god. Where? Okay, so Q. Alright, how do I dart back again? That was...
Like your back step?
Yeah.
Well, again,
R,
having only played on controller, I don't know.
Oh no! I didn't mean to do that. It's the space bar.
It's space bar, okay.
Okay. Well, I drank my health drink. Okay.
And then you can, like, press a direction and the space bar to dodge in that direction. You know?
Yeah. Oh. The squishy sounds are gone. Wait. Map. Okay. Like the squishy sounds when they're gone. Sometimes it's more worrisome than when they're there.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, wait, where are they? sounds again. Okay. That's a green. Oh. Oh, there's sounds.
Smoke reminding me somehow of N64's Turok. Oh, that's actually fog.
Oh, it's that thing. The gigantic,
Beetles or whatever.
cockroach guys. But there's radio sound, too. Okay. And how do I get them?
There you go, you got him.
But there's another one.
Boo! Did I get you? There you go.
Ha-ha! Hi, Wit. How you doing? Okay, wait. Where am I? Okay, there I am.
N64 and its foggy games. That was a technical limitation.
Okay, let's see. M. We're so close. We're so close. Something's gonna pop. Wait, what's that? What's that? Okay. No. That's not the right car. Let's see. No, I have to go further, I guess. Oh, I have to go through that. There's gotta be something behind that door.
Can monsters attack you while you're looking at the map? Yep, they can.
They can? That's not fair. What? Or is that it? That's green. Is the door? Oh. E. Oh, good. I got another health drink. But are they just fattening me up on health drinks because something bad is gonna happen, huh? Huh? Okay. Just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. I guess I can go a little faster. You know. All the squishy sounds are gone. And all the radio sounds. Oh, can I go in there? Probably not. No. Ha-ha. Take that, you station wagon.
Vandalism.
Breaking the law. Breaking the law.
Bear.
Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Oh. Oh shit, there's a yucky. Okay. It's a squishy, yucky jacket.
It's a key.
With a key. Woodside Apartments. Uh-oh. Something bad. Oh no. No! Shit. I keep forgetting about this. Aha! Oh, there's music, and there's wind. Okay. And a lot of sound. Hi Digi, how are you?
Hey, Digi.
Okay, let me look at my map. So I need to go to...
The Woodside Apartments.
Okay. So I need to go out to Sanders Street, I guess, if I can.
Just know one thing in Silent Hill, the road is never straight.
Right. Can I go out this way? The way I came in? No. Oh. Can I get in this? Oh, no, there's another one. Where did that one come from?
Like how James' voice acting really, kind of captured the panic in his voice fighting.
Okay. So I think I need to go out this way because there's no other way to go out. There's music and sound. I feel like that's not a good sign.
No, so
Yeah.
it's gonna be cold for you tomorrow too, did you know?
Okay. Wait, map. Okay, go up Martin Street.
Just go straight.
Yeah.
It's gonna be on the right side of the street. You don't have to fight everything.
Yeah, but I kind of want to. I'm kind of pissed. Okay. On the right side of the street. Right, map. Alright, almost there. Have to cross another street. Yeah. Breaking the law, breaking the law. Bump, bump. No. Hey! Outside apartments or somewhere. Map.
You're almost there.
Almost there. I have to go like all the way around.
There is a place where
Oh. Ah, shit. Hey, get away from me. And that goes. Okay, there's a door.
go.
This way? Okay.
How much how to restore Christmas in the nice.
Ah, here we go. And the beat. Oof.
There you go, and for lack of a better term, this is the first dungeon of the game.
Okay, I should probably use my item. Okay. That didn't heal me completely. but at least it's
Hey,
something.
Giva.
Hey, Giva. Yeah, such a cozy game.
It
All
was
full
my
of-
idea.
All full of yuckies.
It was my idea.
Okay, the first dungeon of the game.
Yep, and there you go.
Oh boy.
Yep,
I'm sure I have to look at that thing.
you'll definitely want to look at it because it's the map.
It's the map, it's the map, it's the middly bibbly 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 bibbly. Okay. Second floor map.
Yep.
So that's
And yep, so there's
Third
3 floors to
floor.
this apartment and to this apartment complex, and you're going to be here for a little while to look up to get some things. I'll guide you to what the goal is. I just thought Pyramid Head and Santa were the same person. Never seen them in the same room at the same time.
you know, I think that's fair.
Okay, so you want to go
I
turn
want to
left?
go in there. No, I want to go in there.
Okay. It's actually a better idea because...
I probably can find some stuff in here. I'm guessing.
Hey, Mystic!
Hi, Mystic.
You started reviewing Genocyber last night? Oh, jeez. Turn around. There you go.
There we go.
I'm trying not to play the game for you. I'm just trying to.
I know.
I'm trying to make sure that you at least find your save points.
Okay, yes. Pyramid Head deals with the naughty kids. Yeah, you know what? I think that's fair enough. I think that's fair. Ooh, Mystic was arting. That's nice. I would always be happy to know people are doing their arts. Their arts of many sorts.
Alright, so go back that way.
Wait, I want to see what's in here.
That's where I wanted you to go.
Oh, okay. Come on. Turn fully. There we go. Handgun ammo. Oh, dear.
Krampus
I'm gonna get a
outsourced.
gun, aren't I?
Krampus outsourced this year.
Krampus outsourced. Hey, I mean, you know, I bet they all hang out sometimes.
Yeah. So, I think it's in here. The left side.
There's a thing over here.
No. Yes, that is. That is the what we're looking for.
It's a puzzle.
It's the things you need to solve. You need to find. Mm-hmm. So you need to find 5 medallions. It was 3 in the original. You have to find 5 medallions and then look at the riddle and solve the riddle using those medallions.
That looks like the Tree of Life on there.
It is.
Interesting. All right, so read. 3 bright coins in the 5 holes B. First sits the maiden underneath the tree. Okay. The wind from below, the maiden doth blow. A beautiful flower alone has to grow. And here comes the man, so sleek and so fine. In the pale moonlight, his eyes doth shine.
And I was wrong. It is 3. It is 3 medallions that you have to find.
But you have to put them in the right hole.
Correct.
So the maiden is probably underneath the tree.
Yep.
A wind from below, the maiden doth blow. A beautiful flower alone has to grow. I'm guessing that's under the sun, and then the man has to be under the moon.
Yeah.
So at least I can figure that out. Okay. Hello, out the window. Hello. Okay. I don't want to fully heal him yet.
As well, you shouldn't, though. You should try and hang on to your stuff as best you can.
Yeah, and not accidentally
because this is a survival
eat
horror
them.
game.
Yes. Okay, I'm just going to save again because I have the puzzle now. Okay, so I exit here, I'm sure. Okay. Oh. When I make noise, I don't know if it's monster noise or my noise. Okay, does it matter which way I go from here?
No, there are certain places you won't be able to go.
Okay.
But, so basically you want to try, like, every door that you can. And those will all be marked on your map.
Right. I'm guessing I probably can't go in here. Alright, so map. Yep, I'm blocked there. Okay, that area I'm heading toward is the stairs. So let's stay on the first floor first. I think that's the best idea. I'll look around here though, because... Ooh, stuffs.
It's a health drink for you.
Yes. Just collect everything I can. Okay, read. Dear Madam, in response to your complaint regarding the gunshots coming from apartment 217, we have paid a visit to the tenant, and he assured us that he does not own any firearms. He was fully cooperative and granted us access to the apartment. True to his words, we did not find any weapons or traces of using one. Should the noises persist, please inform the janitor.
The janitor?
Sincerely, Woodside Apartments Administration. So proper. Dr. Zeus. Oh, I'm sorry you're struggling a little bit, Mystic. I'm sure, you know, it's con cred, I'm sure. You know, con cred sucks. Okay, anything else? There's a door to the outside. I can't do anything with it. Okay. We're staying on floor 1 because I'm sure floor 1 is safer than floor 2 or floor 3. Because logic. Anything on this wall over here to read? No.
Doesn't look like any year's literature.
Okay, so wait, the map has... Alright, so we have... Okay. Oh, yes, okay, so that... Okay, alright. Let's just... Wait, where am I? Okay. (104 to 117). Public bathroom. Ooh. Handgun ammo. Anything else? No. Alright, let's go to 104. Wait.
Nope, you can't go in there yet.
We can't go in there.
Yep.
Unfair.
Bullshit.
Okay, back. I can't do that either. I need a key. Alright, so where do I find the dang key? Don't tell me I have to go upstairs to get the key. Ugh. Oh, good gracious golly. Let me look around here a little more carefully. You'd think if there was a key, it would be in the office. No. Or in the room behind the office. No. There isn't a key on here. They really understand atmosphere with these games. But where's the dang key?
You may have to go to the second floor, honey.
No, I don't wanna.
And there's a third floor on top of that.
Don't wanna. Oh. No.
Hello? Is anyone there?
Why are you calling out to them? They're obviously monsters, James. Hog. These people do not know how to do tags. Oh. Here. No. Okay. Oh. Alright, try rooms. Nothing. Honey. It's not nice in here.
It's not nice anywhere. It's Silent Hill.
It's... I don't know if that's helpful, but I did it anyway. Oh, that's interesting. Oh no. I can break it. Okay. Breaking the law. Breaking the law. Oh. It wants me to go in this room, doesn't it? Oh, there's mannequins in there. Oh. They're bad mannequins, aren't they? They're gonna kill me, aren't they? Of course, I walk straight towards them. Oh.
You should say Marco instead of anyone there.
Marco.
No one wants to play Marco Polo.
Okay. E. Nothing.
It's just something I think of when Limes when she decided to mess with Vinny.
E.
There you go.
Okay.
You have 2 drinks of health now.
Oh, something's gonna come out from underneath those. Oh. This is bad. It's an outfit.
No. It's the most important thing you'll have in the rest of the game.
Okay. Ah! Oh my god. No! No! Where is she? No! You just stay away from me!
You're gonna have to start dodging there, honey.
Okay.
But see that tattered thing of white cloth there?
Yes.
There you go.
Those mannequins remind me of a horror game where the moment you turn your back towards them, they start creeping towards you. Yeah.
Oh, booze from Mario.
Uh-huh. Or like the angels in Doctor Who.
I'm going to turn that just to see where it goes. Shoot.
The chute.
Shoot the chute.
Ugh, is there anything else I need in here? And that's her outfit, isn't it?
That is Mary's outfit, yes.
These clothes.
These clothes.
Whack. Nothing, mama. Nothing, mama. Again.
Condemned criminal origins, yeah. My favorite part of... I still remember playing the demo for Condemned on Xbox 360.
Can I take
and,
those scissors?
It's only the first level, but I just remember, Federal agent, surrender peacefully or I will use force. Fuck you!
Okay, so this is what pisses me off sometimes with games like this. You'll be in a room and there's something that obviously would be fantastic for a weapon. Like a pair of scissors right here.
Mm-hmm.
Can you take them? No. Like, logically, why would I not want to take a pair of scissors as a potential weapon? Anything up there I need to take? No. I already got those. Or I don't like it in here. Can I go in the closet? Stuck in the closet with Vanna
Gonna go
White.
lurk in bed. You rest, Mystic. You rest, Mystic.
Yeah. Yeah, grab a mannequin's arm, definitely. Okay, so there's a chute. But I don't want to shoot. Okay, dodge is spacebar.
Yep, and then hold a direction left or right, and then hit spacebar.
Okay.
See? There you go.
Okay.
So you kind of have to judge what you think the enemy will do, but
Yeah.
dodging backwards doesn't work that well.
Okay. E.
Shoot courtyard key. So no, you don't have a key for 201.
Back. Okay. Okay. I'm tempted to heal myself just because this red stuff is kind of distracting.
Give it a try. Try like to hit like 1 or something like that. No, that's not gonna.
I think it was V.
Yep. V.
Okay, that's where I came from. I do not have the key to this room.
Although you might be able to go in rooms if you just, you can always just press up against doors and see if that works.
Yeah.
Okay, so the shoot courtyard key, that is something you're going to need to get one of the medallions.
Okay. Okay, I can't seem to enter anything else into.
So you can either go to the 3rd floor, or you can go back down to the 1st floor.
Oh, I'm probably gonna have to go back up to the 3rd floor. right?
Yep. You can either go back to the you can either go to the third floor or go back to the first floor. It's your choice.
Yeah. Oh, hang on a second. I need to do something because this is starting to distract me. Where did I put those? Here. There's fingerprints on the top of my screen.
That might be from me moving it.
Yeah, but it's making it kind of like I keep thinking I'm seeing something, and it's, yeah. I think that's better. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's better. Oh. Oh, goodness. Can I open that? No. Oh, and then I guess that's the roof. Okay, there's sounds. All right, so let's see. No. What if I go up here? Wait, where's the... Okay. Free F. Alright. So, I can't go anywhere in 3 right now. What if I go up here? Oh, it's so rickety. Heavy Viper. This is where the real people tag.
Yeah. It's where the real people live, too.
Heavy Viper.
ECLT. Hackles?
Ooh. But where's my gun?
You get one.
Yeah, but I don't have it now.
But you get one.
But I need it. Okay. I guess I'll go back down to 1. No, there's so many yucky sounds. So many haunting yucky sounds.
The haunting.
The haunting. I mean, I guess the nice thing is at least they aren't the cordyceps monsters from...
Yeah. Well,
The
there's
Last
also...
of Us.
The cordyceps monsters were also really fucking cheap at times. So. Did you ever play The Last of Us, dear?
I haven't, but I've watched people play it.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I wasn't sure if I'd ever really get to the point where I would play it.
So, the clickers are pretty bullshit in those games.
Yeah. Okay, so what do I do now? Oh, go out back?
Yep, you can try going out back.
Can I open the door?
No, you can't open that door. There is a way to the back, I just gotta remember what it is.
Okay. Oh, there's a bag. There's 2 bags.
Yeah,
Should I go back into... Here,
yeah,
let's
go
see.
down that hall. I think that hall there. I think there might be an open door someplace. No.
No.
You need to be able to get into the, Yeah, try going through there. Did you try going through there before? Yeah, you did, probably.
Yeah.
It's been so long since I've played this, my navigation's bad.
Yeah.
I literally
Is there
have not played it
something else
since...
in here?
I have not had a playthrough since the game was new.
Oh, ads for McRib.
You can't convince me this is made for adults who are nostalgic for middle school cafeteria special food. Yes. Yes. The McRib, I don't understand. And I will never understand people that like the McRib.
Yeah, it does have that feel. Do I go back outside in the front door?
I don't know if... I don't think you can.
Oh. What do I do?
There may be more on the second floor you can look up. Because you gotta try all the doors.
Right. Well, there was only one door I could...
And you do need to be able to go into the... I tried it, seriously tasted like when my middle school did a special rib sandwich. Yeah.
Is there a way to creep out over here?
I don't think so. Because, yeah, that's because the puzzle, solving the puzzle is the way out.
Right. Okay, let's go back upstairs.
Yeah, you gotta check everything.
Alright. Because I know I can't get through there. I already tried. I mean, at least I'm not being attacked by yuckies.
Not yet.
The thing that I remember was like the school pizza, like the rectangular shaped pizza.
Yeah, kind of like Ilio's pizza.
Yeah.
That's probably what it was, too.
Okay, I can't do this one. Because I don't have...
You don't have the key. And this is the ways they extended these areas. Because, like, if you know what you're doing in Silent Hill, the game's like 4 hours long. If that.
Yeah.
Or Silent
But
Hill 2,
obviously, I do not know what I'm doing.
Right.
I can't go out that window.
Nope.
But it looks nice out there. There's no bad guys. Right now, at least. Alright, so that was the... Yes, that was the room I was in.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Turn left and do a little more exploring.
Oh. Oh me, oh my. I think I went over here before.
Yeah, look at your map. Don't always look at your map.
Yeah.
Okay, so 217. So you need to. So our first thing is we need to find a way, if I can remember it, find a way downstairs, and then the shoot key. Then find a way to use the shoot key. If I remember correctly.
217 has a question mark. Let me see. That's the first one. Okay. Doors are blocked. Pretty much everything is blocked on the first floor except the stairs. And there's the puzzle.
Then you haven't even been able to go to the third floor yet.
Third floor, yeah.
You haven't even gone. Yeah, because
no,
that door's
I can't
locked.
even get that
door's locked.
door.
Okay.
And then 2, 1. It doesn't give me one for above third floor.
Yeah, because there is nothing above the third floor.
Okay.
The 3 floors are all you got, and then there's also outside, which is where I believe we need to go next.
Okay, yeah. So I can't get this door because that doesn't work for 201. I explored 202 to death. That's a window. Bad graffiti. Can't go out there. In case of fire. Can't go here. No. Can't. Okay, can't do that. So, yeah, I can't do anything on floor 2. What the heck? Game? Did I not explore enough? Above floor 3? Is that where you get to the chute?
Nope, there's a chute outside, and there's another item that you need. Did you try that door?
I can't get into it. I already tried it.
Okay.
Yeah, I can do it again. He just grunts.
Yeah.
You can't even turn on the light.
Oh, we got some frame drops again.
Oh no. Sorry guys. Let's see. There's another item I need. Is there something I am not seeing? I hear so many noises.
Yeah, that's all you can explore. You can't do anything else.
Can't do anything else here. What the heck? I'm getting some, like, Gabriel Knight vibes. Okay, there's nothing else.
How did fucking Gabriel Knight get the girl anyway? What did he
I don't know.
What did he do to deserve the girl?
He was so sleazy.
He was sleazy. He was... I mean, I guess being voiced by Tim Curry is an advantage for anyone, but... Didn't see any crashes on your end? Okay.
I think one of the Twitch servers is shitting. It could be, because right when I started up stream, it was, like, dropping frame rates like a mofo. Oh. Okay. What am I not seeing? Hang on a sec. Oh. What did you do to deserve the girl? Hell, what did you do to get the girl to have the I hate you tell me the entire time?
Well, there's a reason for the... Well, that's because, Grace is wise to,
Grace is the girl Friday.
Yeah. She is wise to, Gabriel and his wiles.
Fuerte. Alright. Let's go back to the room I went into. Is there something that was in there that I missed? I feel like I looked pretty carefully, but I mean, it's one of the few rooms I can actually enter. Mm-hmm. So I might as well go in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Add in 3 minutes.
Add in 3 minutes. Okay. There's a Frigimator.
Frigimerator.
A Frigimerator. A dear fridge. Oh, Fridgy, dear Fridgy. Nope. In the sink? Nope.
There's a reason I ripped off a rift from the MST3K episode of Merlin's Shop of Wonders, where Mike and Crow kept hurling insults as a helpful character. Yeah, go into the living room. Yes, you are okay.
Fragile. Anything else I can do with that?
Oh, that's, yeah, there's nothing more you can do in this room.
Yeah, but I have to... There has to be something I can do. There's sounds. Okay.
So, I say go back down to the first floor.
Okay.
Go back down to the ground floor, because there's nothing you can do.
Yeah, clearly. I just want to be sure. No, it's all blocked. Okay. He kind of jogs weekly.
Well,
all
that's
right.
kind of the thing with James, is that he doesn't really... So you want to check by the janitor's closet.
By the janitor's closet. Like these garbages?
Yeah, not the garbages themselves, but you want to look for apartment 112.
103. Okay, so
or actually, open the locked door by the janitor's closet to get outside. So try the one that has the line that has the circle around it.
Okay. All right, so that is over here.
Yes.
Okay.
That's the one we didn't try.
No?
Try it. Hit E. There you go.
Oh.
There you go.
How? Okay.
So now you can go outside. That key is still useful to you, though.
Alright.
See the chute?
Yes.
Yep, check to see if there's a key around it. The keyhole around it.
Oh. Warning, garbage chute. Out of order. Please do not use until the problem is resolved. Okay.
See the thing there with the wrapped in the white cloth there on the right. So now you gotta find where it goes. And I think I see it.
Right there. But I want to look around a little bit because it looks like there's other things going on over here. So I'm just gonna take a look because, you know, a quick cursory gamble. And there's a stairs. Because I'm guessing I'll probably be back out here at some point. Although that may not be a good guess. Okay, so where am I? Okay, and then there's a thing over here. There's a stairs over here. Okay, I've got the layout. Oh no, more ashamed to be an anime fan. Is this more to do with
Anime fan. Oh, is this more of the AI dubs?
Yeah. Okay. Just gotta do it.
Search for everything. Search everywhere you can. Oh, you see the yellow? See the circles?
Yep.
Circles.
Circle.
Nothing! Absolutely nothing! Nothing! Absolutely nothing!
I hear a choking sound. Okay, read. Locaine siblings murder. Perpetrator commits suicide in custody. Walter Sullivan, the culprit in a recent homicide case, was found dead, having taken his own life on the morning of the 22nd in his jail cell. According to the police statement, Sullivan's death was caused by blood loss resulting from severing his carotid artery with a soup spoon buried 2 inches in his neck. Jesus.
Think of the strength that'll take.
Yeah.
Found out people who kept sending Brianna white spicy fan art of Aerith despite her saying stop. Wasn't that the Wingstop girl? And some anime fans are calling her out on it, saying, yeah, well, Japanese VAs like that stuff.
Oh, that's so inappropriate.
Oh, you don't know that.
Yeah, if somebody doesn't like something and they say stop, you know what you do?
You stop.
You stop. Alright. Maybe I should wait until the ad break ends before I read this again. Yeah, jeez. Okay, ad break is over in 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, alright, I'm gonna read this now that it's, okay. Locaine siblings murder. Perpetrator commits suicide in custody. Sounds like an Epstein thing. Walter Sullivan, the culprit in a recent homicide case, was found dead, having taken his own life on the morning of the 22nd in his jail cell. According to the police statement, Sullivan's death was caused by blood loss, resulting from severing his carotid artery with a soup spoon buried 2 inches in his neck. Sullivan was apprehended on the 18th of this month on account of brutally murdering Billy and Miriam Locaine. Even though Walter Sullivan did not strike a former schoolmate from his hometown of Pleasant River as someone capable of murdering children, the schoolmate admits to having witnessed Sullivan in a state of severe paranoia shortly before his arrest. He was blurting out all sorts of strange stuff like, he's trying to kill me, he's trying to punish me, the monster, the red devil. Forgive me, I did it, but it wasn't me, he recounts. I guess now that I think of it, he was kind of crazy, the schoolmate concludes. Ugh. Oh, it gets dumber, Digi? Oh.
Why does this get dumber? Oh, they show pics of the Japanese VAs liking the art, but just because they do doesn't mean they all do.
Yeah.
Not to mention, that could be just them being polite.
Oh, wait. The radio sound is coming.
Vendors hold their excuses. Well, Japanese VAs are friendly to fans. Even some of them treat them like best friends. Which is wrong.
It's just so presumptuous.
Yeah.
Okay, the sound is coming from over this way, but there's nobody there. That is very weird. Ooh, bathroom? Bathroom. Anything useful in here? Yeah, like there's radio sounds, but... Oh. Oof. Wait, is it in here? Oh. It's on the floor.
It was a
there
cockroach.
We go. I'm gonna go back into the
nuclear
room.
Cockroach.
Because I didn't see this room. Okay. All right. Let's see. So, it's the map, it's the diddly map, it's the map. Okay, so there's a question mark over by room 112 on the other side. Oh, the chute. Was there something else I was supposed to get at the chute?
I don't know if there's anything in the chute there, but the chute is important.
Okay. $109. Did I pass 110? Alright, let's try a room. I swear, those doors closing from behind, they're quite upsetting. Somebody left their glasses behind. That's not a good idea. Oh, no. Oh. So. God, that's awful. What a horrible way to live. Like, I look at them and, like, they creep me out, but they're also kind of pitiful. Tried to open locked doors 50 times. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to be thorough. Oh. Okay, when am I getting this gun? Because, honestly, if I'm getting this much ammo, there's eventually gonna be a gun. No. I'm sorry. I didn't do this to you on purpose. Somebody obviously did some awful things to you that are not okay. That's not me. Alright. That's 110. Nope. I'm playing this on easy mode, aren't I?
Combat's easy mode.
Ah. Right.
That's the back way out.
Okay. Now... Yeah, I think I'm playing on story mode. Oh, wait. There's an exclamation point. Wait. There's an exclamation point for over here. And that's a key. Oh, come on. You can reach it.
Hey! Wait!
It's a little girl.
Damn it.
Okay. Wait.
What's a kid doing here?
So I can't get that. Well, that's just dandy, little girl. Okay. Guess I'm going the other way. That was 10.
Where's the T-1000 when you need it?
I know. One of the defenders will excuse well Japanese VAs are friendly to fans. Even some treat them like best friends. Oh god, that's so not true.
Mm-hmm.
If a VA can be friends with fans, great, but not all fans are VA friends. And even if they were, I can't stress this enough. Don't show them spicy art if they don't want to see. How hard is... Like, how are you... If some... Do they think you're going to make friends with somebody who doesn't... Who told you to stop? Like, if somebody says stop, they're probably creeped out or uncomfortable. And they probably would not want anything to do with somebody who continues whatever nonsense they're on. Oh, okay. I can't go further than that, so I have to go back outside.
Fan entitlement, there's a reason I hate it. Yeah, well, this isn't just fan entitlement, it's public gooning. You know?
It's like, look, I'm getting off on having, you know, risque content of your character that you voiced. Like, it's just inappropriate.
It does ruin things for everyone else. Good call.
It does.
Good call.
Yeah. And I mean, like, you know, if you ever look at the rules I have a lot of rules for my page, and part of the reason for that is there's a lot of people who, you know, make things not nice for everybody else. Okay, so this is the chute.
Yep.
And there's something important about the chute.
See how it's clogged?
Yes.
Exactly. So now we gotta find something that could potentially unclog it.
Yes. Okay. Try going in here. Well, okay. Alright. Wait, it... Okay. Oh, great. Alright, what do I need to find now?
What do you need to find now?
Yeah, because
Okay.
I've exhausted things again. E. Read.
Okay. So, head back towards the front desk.
Okay. That's good enough.
I was gonna say, you get to guide me in Monkey Island, I get to guide you in Silent Hill.
Right. There was a sound.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, there was a sound, a little girl sound.
Check your map.
Map. Okay, there's question marks where the little girl is. Oh, look. I think I can go through the door.
Give it a
Okay.
try. Yeah, take a look.
Okay. So I've been through this door before. It's open. Oh, it's open. Oh, there's radio sounds. Got a machine head. It's better than the rest. Into a red machine head.
Machine head. Was that the song I called the breathe in, breathe out exercise song?
Yes.
No, seriously, that's what it sounded like to me.
We were cracking up about that because we were in Whole Foods.
Yeah.
And they were playing that song.
Which is not supermarket tunes, if you ask me.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Kitchen.
Can't open anything.
Oh, the Wells Fargo kitchen's coming down the room. I hope there's something special there for me. Oh, there's a bathroom. Good Lord, do these people not clean their bathrooms? Oh, that's a nice deep tub.
It's not a Japanese style tub,
But
though. I like those
it's
the
deep
most.
enough. Like
You
some,
know, you're right. You're right.
you know, like a lot of tubs and houses these days in the U.S.
Too shallow.
are too shallow.
Like, you know that you have a good tub when it's a good soaking tub.
Yes, you want to get all the way under the water. Yeah, the tubs in the U.S. are really designed for bathing small children.
Yeah.
At least they have air conditioning.
Yeah, check the, check
Oh.
there. Puzzle.
Okay. Okay. Wait, so. Okay.
Go to the other one.
Okay. A wedding dress.
Symbolism.
Symbolism.
Missed it. What song? Machine Head. Check
By,
the floor.
what's his name? Check the what?
The floor, see?
Oh, yes.
Did you see how the hand dropped that?
Yes.
It's a bomb! Oh.
Golden apple handle. Rotate. It looks more like a tomato, but we'll accept it. Got a machine head. What's the name of the group? It's Gavin Rossdale. Bush.
Bush? Yeah, Bush.
Got a machine head.
Was Machine Head in one of the SmackDown vs. Raw games? Help me out here.
Probably.
I've heard worse songs made to be played in public.
But you know when you're starting to get old, when the music you listened to in high school is playing in grocery stores. Oh, it's over there, isn't it?
But to me, hearing Machine Head in a grocery store is like hearing Judas Priest in a grocery store. You just don't expect it.
Oh, I went the wrong
My
way.
Immortal is a grocery core song now. Oh no.
I've heard it.
Oh no.
Oh my god, you are so right. I've heard it.
Oh dear.
Okay, I went the wrong way. I have to go this way. There's so many noises. I don't like it.
Check them out.
I know. I have to.
Yeah,
I
go
went
in.
through the room. But I have to go to where the key is.
Here's a key.
E.
And now let's
That
take a look.
is second floor
hall.
hall.
So that'll open up the hall on the other side.
And
there's a version of Hot to Go that's about eating a nice hot pizza.
Hottogo. Eat your pizza, let it flow.
Einsame Blumen?
Einsame. Oh, it's a Schumann piece. Einsame Blumen, Opus 82.3, Robert Schumann. I'm not sure I remember that song. I took piano lessons for 10 years, so I do know some composers. I just don't necessarily remember every little thing. Okay. I have a feeling that's important, and we will have to play a Schumann piece at some point. A locket and a record. What's with all the records? I think this is a game theme. All the albums. Albumum. A flurba blurba blurb. No. Okay. There's handprints. Obviously, people have been here. Oh, bunnies. That's not openable. Let's try the bathroom. I'm sure the little girl is going to pop out at some point. Okay.
Huh. Quite the artist.
Quite the artist. Bring me to life as a kid's bop. Oh my god. Don't even...
Didn't we have this conversation
yes,
a couple months ago, honey?
I believe we did have this conversation about freaking kids bop. Oh my god. Oh, there's more bunnies. But I can't get over there. Ooh. E. E. Can I get... See, I can't get over there. But clearly the bunnies are a symbol of child who stepped on our hand with her foot. Okay. Alright, so I'm probably going to die a lot because I'm not so good. Wait, what? Oh, that's the flashlight in his pocket. Okay. I will probably die a lot in this game because I'm not so good at dodging in games. Although I got pretty good in Cat Quest. We went in this room, didn't we? Yes. Yes, this is the wedding room. The wedding dress room. I keep hearing monstery sounds, but none of them are coming out. Okay, oh, here we go.
Here's your answer.
Yeah.
What's up?
It's still going off. In this room, no, that one wasn't open. Was it this room? Wait. Nerd. Here, I'm gonna look at my map again. Map. Okay. Yeah, those are closed. 106. I don't think I went into 106. So.
So check upstairs because you got a key to the second floor hall.
Right. But I'm right here by 106, so I should check.
Oh, the actual Hot to Go is a song in the newest Madden. Oh my goodness.
Okay. There's a bug. The pens make an arrow. I don't know if that means anything. Good Lord, that wallpaper needs help. Okay. Ah, here. We are going to have so much ammo and no weapon.
I was going to say, it looks like you picked up I thought you were picking up a mouse trap there or something.
Yeah.
Kids Bop keeps going.
Oh, here you go. Read. Please deliver these to Mrs. Millie from 102. I'm really worried about her. She's been cooped up all alone with his belongings for days on end. She won't even move them. And God forbid anyone else touch anything. It's breaking my heart just thinking about it. Okay. Kitchen, don't fail me now. Okay. Okay, that's boarded up. That's boarded up, clearly. Kids Bop.
Yeah. Yeah, is on it.
105, 104. So, map.
How has Kids Bop survived?
I don't know. Alright. So I got all that stuff. I'm gonna go out to the front again. And I guess we'll go up to second floor, but let's save. Yep. No. Save. Oh, I guess I only have so many spots. Okay. I heard squishy sounds again. Hang on. I do not have a... Okay, I do not have any medallions. But Robert Schumann... Opus 83, I think it was. I feel like there's a piano playing gag in this. Oh, look. Did that open up? Okay, should we go up to floor 2 or should we go forward?
Go to the second floor first.
Okay.
James has the look of someone who's seen everything and has got the scars to prove it.
Okay. Yes. And then he just leaves the key there. Alright, so let's look at the map real quick. So we're heading... Alright, so... 217 is highlighted.
Yep. Can you get down there?
Oh, there's sounds. Oh, there's a... Is it gonna come back to life? (204 to 217). Yeah, can't do that. Yes, it's sleeping. I don't know if anybody remembers it, but there was the, sounds like the building is breathing. There was the whole MTV, like, series of, the Stuck in the Closet videos. And, like, they had this story, and it was, like, this guy, and it was, like, practically an opera. And, okay. Oh, dear. Is that Pyramid Head in the hall?
No.
No. But there's something coming. There is something coming because I hear the radio. Oh, I can go in here. Oh, is
See
this
chute?
the chute?
Yes, it is. So now,
Oh, there's a coin. James, my boy, why don't you do something with that?
yep. So you need something heavy.
Heavy. Like one of these.
No,
Or-
it's actually something you wouldn't guess.
Okay.
It's a little bit Sierra adventure gamey, or
Okay.
maybe actually it might be closer to LucasArts, but
Is it
it's
in
defi-
this room?
No.
Well, that's not fair. But I want to get. I want the coin. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna fight something here, aren't
I was gonna
I?
say, do you want to know what it is?
Not yet.
Okay.
This room is very dark.
Because it is something that will make you go, what? You know?
Oh, there's music in here. Why? Why did I have to go in this room? There's something in this room that will make me go what? Or the items?
No, it's someplace else.
I don't like this. What?
Oh, did you see the static there?
Yeah.
That is a callback to the original. Whenever you see something with a static thing like that,
Okay.
and the sound that goes, it's a callback to the original Silent Hill 2.
Okay.
So this is what I mean when I say that Silent Hill 2, you don't have to have played the original, but
Right.
it does enhance your enjoyment somehow, some way. Okay, so that's where you need to go. See that? Thing in the
Yeah.
wall? See that hole in the wall?
Yes, I do, but I also want to see what else is in this
Mm-hmm.
very dark room, just in case there's something I can take, like a gun.
The gun will come. Don't worry.
Oh, I forgot how to do that.
Yep, just E. Yep, just the action button. E.
Okay.
Now you got something else there.
Oh, there's things. Okay, read it. Due to the ongoing renovation works, tenants are asked to keep out of the third floor of the building.
Well, too bad.
Sincerely, Woodside Apartments Administration.
That's all I can say. Well,
Yes.
too bad.
R. Kelly at his egotisticalist.
Yeah.
Yes. It was R. Kelly, I think, who
They-
did the Stuck in the Closet series.
Now I'm trapped in the closet.
Yes.
Can't use
Golden
that just
apple
yet.
handle.
That does have a use, I promise.
Okay, but not there.
Mm-hmm.
And
And then I pull out my gun. Ah!
okay, so where am I? Oh, I'm right where the map is.
You're right where the map is, and then you're supposed to go to 217.
Should I even bother to try these
Give it a
rooms?
try. I mean, what's the harm?
Right.
The worst that's gonna happen is you're just gonna run into a door, look a little silly, and that's it.
Right. And he's gonna say,
It's better than just like, pressing X on every door and going and just having the door is locked. Locked. The lock is broken.
good lord, how much ammo have I collected?
A lot.
Let me see.
Tab.
Items.
Equipment.
Equipment.
Dad, Tom Cruise won't come out of the closet.
15.
No, yeah. Yeah, so You don't pick up entire boxes worth of ammunition. You just pick up like a few bullets here, a few bullets there. Although if you're judicious with your ammo, you'll be fine.
Oof.
Yeah, see how
Alright,
you're only
that's
picking
17.
up like 2. So you see how you're only picking up 2 bullets and stuff like that.
Right.
No, if you pick up you're not picking up like full clips of ammunition.
Mm-hmm.
And there you go. Look in the cart.
No. Finally.
Here's your gun.
Oh my frickin'. Hold to aim, press to shoot.
Yep. So hold down the left mouse button to aim and the right mouse button to shoot.
All right. I'm not using any more ammos.
Yep. Hang on to that ammunition. You're gonna need it.
Obviously, somebody had a little too much fun with the gun. And anything else I can find in here? More ammos. The ammos, and I have, I think, 8. Oh, that's 3. So 19 ammo. Oh. And there's sounds. Wait, what's going on with the map now? Okay, so we've gone kind of everywhere we could go, I think, right? Okay. Sounded like somebody went, ah. Okay. So that's where I came in.
Yep.
So I guess I have to go through this way again. Oh. Oh no.
Take a look.
But I don't want to look.
Oh, you got to go there. 212. There you go.
Oh. Oh.
Hey, LT.
Hey, LT. Oh, gosh. I mean, I can't do anything. It's just gonna happen when it happens.
Booga, 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 booga.
Oh, why did you not look?
Maybe he doesn't want to.
Well...
I mean, some people will do anything to fall asleep in front of the TV.
Or die in front of the TV. Oh my god, is that what I have to throw down?
Nope.
Is it a lamp?
Nope. Like I said, you will probably break something when you find out what it is.
Oh. The gun? Can't do that door, right? No. Alright, I guess I'm exiting this place, because obviously we're done here. There's a random dead guy. Okay. So I couldn't go... E?
212.
Okay.
Click. I've seen this horror movie. This is where James Wood gets the cancer gun for a hand.
The cancer gun for a hand.
Oh, God.
Oh. It's breathing. Oh. Everything's like breathing. Okay.
Neither of you saw Videodrome? I know I haven't.
No. Like, okay, where is the little girl?
You wouldn't, you don't see her, you may not see her again here, but, you see her at points throughout the game. She's not a constant presence in the game.
Alright. God, this is so gross. Why does it keep showing me? Oh. Oh no. Okay, don't shoot her yet. She went that way. Oh!
Double tap with the not with a gun, but with the 2x4.
Where's the how do I get? Oh, E. How do I get the 2x4?
Try pressing 1.
No.
Try okay. How about scrolling with the scroll wheel?
No.
Oh God.
But
okay, it looks like
she's
you're
not
okay.
moving.
It looks like you're okay. They would have gotten up by it. Would have gotten up by now.
Yeah. Okay. There's a TV. Yeah, she's looking kind of juicy. All right. She's a yucky. I don't know why I keep thinking that those ones are she's. Okay. 2 ammos. I don't see anything else. Can I... Wait, where am I on the map? Oh, I'm in 210. Okay, I think I can... Can I go out the door? And then I get to see the rest of this area? Wait, let me look at the map again. Yes.
See if you can get to 209.
I do not know.
Double tap. There you go.
I don't know why I don't have the gun out right now. That's 209. Won't open. Okay. Map. Alright, so I can go around here. Do. Oh, there's another one.
Hey, it's SpongeBob after the movie. It's the personification of SpongeBob after the movie.
It stopped moving. Okay. How did I shift from...
I think maybe if you just press the...
No. Q. Maybe. E. Here, where am I?
Yeah, if you just press the hit button, hit button, it's a melee hit. So you have to aim. You can't just fire from the hip. You have to...
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
So it's very Dark Souls in that regard, in that you have to go around and you have to find shortcuts and stuff like that. So if you want to use the melee weapon, just click without it.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm not familiar with the PC controls. I'm only familiar with the game controller controls.
Got it.
Welcome home. Hey, honey, welcome home.
No. I don't want to live in this place. Can we live somewhere else? Oh my god. All right, have a good night, Mac.
Good night, Mac.
Okay, I've got more ammo. Got more stuff. Okay. Here's a bedroom. with a light on. And nothing. That's a nice lamp, though. It's very, like, Tiffany style lamp. Okay, and then let's go over here. No! Shit. I don't like you! Leave me alone!
It made you leave.
Oh my gosh. I broke the toilet. Okay.
Scaredy cat.
Get that. Let's heal a little bit. I have only one health drink left. I want more. Can I, like, rig the game so I have more?
You can always mod the game, but...
Okay. I think I'm going that way. Wait, let me check. Yes, I'm going this way. Do. I hear sounds. Ooh. More ammunition. And a big pot of stew. And a big pot of stew filled with mold. Okay. Oh, this is interesting. Anything of interest in here? This is my kind of room. No. Well, that's odd. That feels strange to me. Why are there no clickables in here? Okay. Oh, there's another closet. Here. Read. You must think I'm cruel, but this person is of your own... Oh, prison is of... person. Whatever. But this prison is of your own making. The choice was yours. I watched you make it over and over and over again. This time it's not going to be any different. And I'll be here watching. Well, that's lovely. Okay. E.
Golden apple.
E. Okay. E. There's stuff all over the walls. Possibly written by somebody who maybe not be very stable.
No TV and no beer make Homer something.
Back. Okay. No TV and no beer. Make Homer go crazy?
Don't mind if I do.
Wait. Did something change anywhere? Is there a way to get into that room from here? No. Okay. Okay. So, I am here.
So usually, so what we've seen in the past is that if you can see those lines with the circles around them, I believe it means you have the key for them.
Okay.
Either that or you've already done it. So
yeah. Okay. So I can't do anything here. I'm gonna have to get to it from the other side, really. I'm gonna have to get to it from the other side.
Yeah.
I've searched everything. Let's go downstairs and do a little savey poo. Because, you know, saving is good. Oh my gosh, okay. Well, I've killed some yuckies today. And I still have a little bit more time on my stream. Is it this way? Yes. So I'm going to go back to the beginning and overwrite this one. Okay, and then it automatically moves it to the top. That's nice. That's helpful. But now I'm hearing radio sounds. And squeaky sounds. Should I check back here again?
How is it somehow cleaner than my office at work?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh man, Kari Hiroyuki Tagawa Shang from the original combat has passed away. Oh no!
Oh, no.
Oh man. Rest in peace, original Shang Tsung.
Sugar, spice, and everything nice. These are the ingredients Aspen Dracaena used to make the perfect little girls. But she actually added one ingredient to the concoction. Chemical X. Do, 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 do.
At first I thought it was gonna say she accidentally added one ingredient to the concoction. Panda.
I mean, that could work too. All right, let's try to go back up to... Wait, no, you know, let's look at the map. Floor 2. Not floor 3, floor 2. All right, so we have... Oh... If we go in...
Okay.
207, I think we can get into 205 and then go into 206.
Yep. Well, you need to get to 206. And then,
So if we go this way, I think, I'm gonna think about this.
oh yeah, okay.
Oh yeah?
Alright, so what you need to clear the blockage there is the trash blockage is on the third floor. So you've still got some work to do on the second floor.
Oh no! Oh shit!
But this is not the place where you're
Okay.
because you need some.
Okay, so I'm on... Alright, so I'm gonna go in back and turn around, go into room 207. Okay, so turn around.
So are you hearing something?
No.
No? Oh, okay. Might be a little... Yeah. That's right, it's in a different part. Okay.
And then... There's a spot... You can go out this door... to go to 205 and make it into 206. No! Wait, I can't get in there. Well, that sucks. Can I... No. Okay. That way isn't gonna work. Okay. How else am I supposed to get in there? Can't do that. Can't do 204. What? Oh. Panda's watching YouTube poops while I'm playing scary game.
Because I've played this game before.
I know, but I'm like, how do I get to room 206, damn it?
206? Okay, so you want to get to 206. You remember the thing where you were? The thing where you could look inside?
Yes.
Where the peephole there?
Yes.
There is a... hang on a second. There's a way in. You can't push
no, she's still moving.
Oh. Or is that just a quirk of where she is? Yeah, that's a quirk of her being.
Okay.
So, hang on. The welcome home display, you've been there, 206. The golden apple handle, yeah, so you need to,
I need to go back to the room.
You need to go back to 206, you know where you use the golden apple handle?
Yes.
Yes, you gotta go there, and then you can push that out of the way. So that is, 207?
208.
Yeah. Yeah, apartment 208, yeah.
Okay. Okay, move it. Move it or lose it.
Yep, so you have to push that out of the way.
Oh.
Yep. I'm trying not to play the game for you, dear. You just hit the... Oh. Hit the up button. There you go.
There we go.
Little more. Little more? No? Okay.
No.
You gotta squeeze through with the E button.
Yeah.
E key. Yeah, and now you can't get out until you solve the guessing.
Great.
But there are clues around.
Yes. Right where the rooftops pierce through the night. Right. Rooftops. Left. Homebound footprints with no owner in sight. But he has found home, oh please pray tell, or a river of memories leading right to hell. So there's a right, left, right. Right rooftops, left footprints. Home.
Why am I seeing black speech above that?
I don't know.
See the 700?
Yeah.
It looks like black speech, doesn't it?
A lot of this looks like music writing.
Alright.
Okay.
So there are 3 different pieces of graffiti hidden around the room that you can look at. And those will be your...
7.
So 7, yep.
The home is 7. 13.
13.
And that's the door.
You're gonna... that will open with the key that you get from this puzzle.
So I've got 7, 13...
This is a little esoteric for a riddle, but maybe not even that much, but...
There should be another one, right?
Hmm?
So there's a 7 and a 13, and then this one.
So what you want to do is you want to find... let me see.
Right, so... Alright. Right where the rooftops pierce through the night. So right 13, left 7. But he has found home. So 13, 7, River of Memories.
Unless that 7's a red herring, or you're supposed to add that up.
There's a toilet. Ceiling?
I have the answer. I'm just not gonna... I want my big-brained wife to...
Oh, river. 11. So I'm thinking 13 left, 7 right, 11... Right. No, 13 right, 7 left, and 11 right. Okay. 13. Right. 7 left. It says something about home.
Home?
The word home was written big.
Yeah. I think that's a red herring.
Okay. And then the last one was 11. Oh, shoot.
Oh.
Reset. So 13 right.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Reset. Okay.
Oh, did you go by it?
Yeah. 13 right. Left 7.
Hey, there you go.
All right. I got a coin.
That's one of the coins you need for your puzzle. And you'll be surprised. And yes, I promise you that that other side has meaning.
Okay.
And then that's your ticket out.
Nice. Okay. Getting out of the crazy room.
Crazy room.
I don't know. Use.
Will he steal, and how?
Okay. And those sounds. Okay. Alright, this is where there's monsters.
Yes.
And I think it might just be...
Nothing.
That's something though. I hear chittering, so I think it's the cockroaches. Maybe.
Oh, that's a good thing.
Okay.
Not as good a thing, but still a good thing.
Okay.
Did you get it? Yeah.
There's 2 of them.
Oh, there's 2 of them.
Yeah.
And then
Okay.
Toluca. Small staircase key. Yeah.
Small staircase key. Okay. All right.
So yeah, we're making our way.
Yeah, we're progressing. Okay.
And then you can unlock that. And there's a shortcut.
Okay. Here, let me look at my map. Okay, so that's back. Alright, so it looks like I've pretty much checked out all of the second floor. As far as I know, it looks pretty checked out. There's still some stuff on 1. Definitely some stuff on 3.
Yep, and we don't really have anything on the 3rd floor, although the 3rd floor does have something. It does have a bit of a twist to it. Let me look at my map. Sees the map assigned Roronora Zoro. I'm sure that's reliable.
Or Ryoga Hibiki.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
For us old taku that love
us
Ranma.
oldie ones.
I was so happy when I talked with one of my older teachers and we actually had a conversation about Ranma. I was like, yay!
Ranma.
My nerddom has been, my otakudom has been newest Ranma yet? I believe we have.
I watched the episode where Ranma changes into a girl and then takes Ryoga on a date.
Okay. I was gonna say Ranma turns into a girl. That's most of the episodes.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's me being obnoxious. And my laptop's dead. Okay.
Okay.
It was saved. Okay. Thank you for putting in big bold letters and not making us guess.
Yes. All right. So map. So we're on 1st floor right now.
1st floor.
And there's squeaky sounds again.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So what you can do is, excuse me,
I know I need to clear out on floor 2 the space for the
Gmod animation's coming along nicely. Way to go, Wit.
Nice.
Well, what you can do is you can put the coin.
Yes.
You can put the coin in the puzzle.
Very true.
It's not like we have to worry about encumbrance in this game, but
Right.
like it's Oblivion or something.
So I think he goes under the moon. Nope. Okay. E. Hang on. E. Yeah, it's even highlighting it. E. No. Yes. E.
There you go. And now you got to
Yep.
find 2 more coins.
Yes, I think one is going to go in the middle and one is going to go to the right. And I know where one of the coins is because it's in the garbage chute.
Mm-hmm. You are going to be so mad when you see what it is. Do you want to know what it is?
A dead plant.
No.
A fan.
No.
A telephone.
No.
The little girl.
No. You wish it was the little girl, don't you?
A hammer.
No.
A chair.
No. Would you like a hint?
Sure.
It's a grocery item.
Oh no. Where am I gonna get groceries in this game?
Use your imagination.
A bottle.
No.
A can.
Getting warmer.
A medication.
Getting colder.
Oh, that pot?
Getting colder.
No, but it's the pot. Okay, a bottle or can-like thing.
Mm-hmm.
A can of beans.
Not quite.
Cause a can of soup.
Getting warmer.
A can of fruit.
Getting warmer.
A can of vegetables.
About the same.
Something like a can of vegetables.
Can of vegetables, can of
Can of cream
how
of mushroom soup.
getting a little too specific.
Okay, but I get that on the 3rd floor.
It's going to be on the 3rd floor, yes. At least if I
crying
remember
out
the
loud.
walkthrough I looked at, yes. Because even I needed a walkthrough for this because I forgot where I was.
Mm-hmm.
If I was playing and I was being an MST3K fan, I would have asked hamdingers.
Hamdingers.
Well, that makes sense. Nobody likes hamdingers.
So here's the thing I'm wondering right now. So I kind of finished floor 2.
Mm-hmm.
Is this a good place to stop?
I think it is.
You think it is?
You cleaned out a lot of the 2nd floor.
Yeah.
The 3rd floor is, you still got to do the 3rd floor.
Yeah.
And then the 3rd floor throws a little twist at you.
Okay, let's go back there. I mean, it doesn't matter because it will save where I saved it.
Oh my god, the loading. Maybe it's because you might have a better graphics card than me, but I had a 3060. I was running this on my old 3060 last year. Maybe they've patched it and optimized it since then, but the loading had me thinking there was something wrong with my computer. It would hitch so badly.
All right. So let's stop here. Since this is, it feels like it's going to be opening a whole new can of cream of mushroom soup if I move on to floor 3.
Mm-hmm.
So let's okay.
Speaking of
Patchkin's looking better.
Cyberpunk.
Nice.
Oh yeah, Cyberpunk has come a very long way since it came out.
Now I can't recall if we have that on Steam or not.
I don't have it on Steam. I have it on GOG.
Okay.
You might
Why
have
is
it
it
on
so
Steam.
squeaky? I might have it on Steam. I'm not sure.
I know
I have
I have it on PS5 as well.
is it Ghostwire?
Ghostwire Tokyo, yeah.
Yes, I know I have that game.
That game sounds cool, but I never played it. Was that from
Yeah.
Tango Gameworks?
I don't remember, but that could be fun to play sometime too. It looks interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's stop here.
Mm-hmm.
I will main menu. Yes. Ooh.
You're
main
still in the
menu.
toilet.
I'm still in the toilet. Okay, let's see if we can find a friendo.
Almontis went live.
Almontis went live.
Yeah.
Here, let's see. Let's check it out, because Almontis, he's just been up for...
Yeah, he literally just went live.
Yeah. He might be the best choice, because he's only just gone live. Or Akari Made.
Akari, yep.
Akari. I don't really raid her much, so it might be nice to raid her.
Akari doesn't really get that many viewers, so...
Yeah, let's raid Akari, because I think it would be nice.
Yeah.
Alright.
They basically play everything I played when I was in high school, which is to say, nothing but RPGs.
Well, they're playing Pokemon ZA, so it looks like it may be the first time they're starting. So let's go here. Let's do a raid message. Here, let me see if I can do raid. We have our little raid thing now. Raid. Ice Dragon raid. What else should we do? Happy snow days. And then Ice Dragon raid again. No. Again, Ice Dragon raid. There's our raid message. All right.
LT.
Yeah. Okay. Have a great night, everybody. Say hi to Akari. Akari's really sweet. And you can use the raid message if you want. You don't have to. And have a good night. We'll be back to this soon. Bye.
Bye.
And now.